Welcome to day 4. Last session I told you about how different emotions can put us into different states of mobilization, including inaction, hyperactivity, or powerful productive action. Today we're going to dive deep into one of these emotional states because it's incredibly important we understand it and allow ourselves to experience and process it. It's called grief. When any awake and relatively present human thinks about the mass extinction crisis or becomes aware of the current and projected effects of climate warming, such as rising sea levels, death of our reefs and oceans, extreme weather events, desertification of many parts of our world, leading to death and food shortages and disease, they will likely start to cycle between fear, anger, overwhelm, and depression. These emotions are entirely appropriate and should not be repressed. They're trying to tell us something, and we should listen. We might cycle through all of these emotions in the course of one day, 1 hour, or 1 minute. And there's nothing wrong with being in any of the emotional states. They are all incredibly valid and useful. However, what happens when we get stuck in one of these states for too long and are unable to move forward? I want to share with you something called the 90-second rule. The 90-second rule is a term applied by neuroscientist Jill Bolte Taylor in her book, My Stroke of Insight, to explain the nature and lifespan of an emotion if left uninterrupted by thoughts. She says, when a person has a reaction to something in the environment, there's a 90-second chemical process that happens in the body. After that, any remaining emotional response is just the person choosing to stay in that emotional loop. This means that for 90 seconds you can watch the process happening, you can feel it, and then you can watch it go away. So what are we all doing wrong? What is happening with the rest of us? Well, avoidance, suppression, and indulgence. That's what. I'd argue that truly effective people are flexible and buoyant with their emotions. They're able to listen to them deeply and take in the information they're trying to tell them, but then be skillful in allowing them to move through them and not letting them remain unwanted guests in their inner home for too long. Perhaps really skillful people can observe the 90-second rule. If this is not you, then don't worry. That's where mindfulness and meditation training comes in. And by practicing the skills of acceptance and letting be daily in small ways, we give ourselves more emotional freedom and flexibility when it really counts. Like when a really strong emotion comes knocking on our door. So let's talk about grief. We've already mentioned the first stage, denial. Environmental denial involves discrediting the science, avoiding thinking about the problem, or being rigid in view, ignoring, deflecting, and stalling. You might know a few people in positions of power who are in this first stage of climate grief. Next we have anger. Indignation, protesting, outbursts, and sometimes over-exaggeration are characteristics of this phase. Then bargaining arrives, which might look like greenwashing or defending privilege, maybe making token efforts or using unrealistic positive spin. And the next stage we have is depression, feeling overwhelmed, hopeless, anxious, and confused. Many of us can relate to a sense of climate depression as we anticipate this uncertain future. Now, the interesting thing is, if you're in depression and anxiety, then you've actually come through many stages already. in respect to processing and allowing your grief. You're probably more evolved than most. The final stage of grief is acceptance. Acceptance, like the acceptance we talked about last session, is powerful. In this stage, we begin to become engaged participants, co-creators of our unwritten collective future. We practice self-care, we connect to our community, and we think big, and start to take everyday steps in our own communities to change things from the ground up, while demanding change from our leaders as well. So can you relate to these different stages of grief? Do you cycle through them, moving maybe from acceptance back into depression again with the latest headline? You might even experience multiple stages at once. This is all possible. But let's take a moment now to stop and be with ourselves, to mourn. When we mourn, it gradually clears this path, freeing up our emotional energy so that we can pursue new possibilities and take action. To clear away a space for our inner nature to bloom. So let's begin. I invite you to start by coming into yourself. Noticing your posture, how you're sitting, how you're being in this moment, how you're breathing. Make any small adjustments you need to become more comfortable, more grounded, more stable. And then allow yourself to come into your senses. What's the first thing you can detect in your internal world? And I invite you to take yourself now to a beautiful place in nature. Your favorite place. It can be real or imaginary. It's a place in nature that you feel safe, where nothing can harm you. Just allow any images to arise in their own time. And notice where you are. Feel the air around you. Is it calm and still? Is there a breeze? Is it cool or warm against your skin? Tune into the soundscape all around you. Are there any animals? Can you hear the leaves of the trees? Notice the smells arriving at your nose. What can you feel as you reach out in front of you? What is it that you touch? Just take in all the colors and the sounds and the feeling of being here. And then I invite you to find a perfect place to sit. You might even lie down. And as you stare up at the sky, I invite you to check in with your heart space as you rest in this place. How does it feel? And as you move deeper inward, notice the feelings that arise when you think of your connection with this beautiful natural world. Nature all around you. All of the birds, the animals, the insects, the trees, the flowers. And then take a moment to acknowledge the things that are being lost. The homes that are being lost. All the beauty, all the tranquility being lost. And sit with whatever arises for you as you rest here, connected to Mother Earth, feeling for Mother Earth. Use your breath as you need, and place your hand on your heart if it feels right. And just breathe. Allow it all. Allow, allow, allow. Allow anything that needs to be experienced to be seen, observed, and eventually released. And if you find you don't feel much, it might be that your inner defenses have kicked in. And that's okay, they're simply there to protect you. Just bring a bit more self-compassion and self-love in. And you might just find yourself slowly unfurling into feeling, if and when it feels right. And as you sit here, I invite you to sit taller now. Pull your shoulders back and down. Allow your head to lift. A string pulling you up through your center. Allow your hand to hold and create space for your heart. This is being human. To feel it all is to be alive and awake. We need not shy from it. It is our nature. We do this work with ourselves, and in doing so, we can change the world. Thank you for doing this important work with me today. Thank you for caring. I'll see you for day 5, where we will learn about the neuroscience of positive emotion and why cultivating your own personal well-being might just be one of the most powerful things you can do for our Earth.